manner or not. And people keep on reading hundreds of books for ethics. Gautam Buddha, he never read any books, and he could become enlightened soul. And that is what people, UPSC is also expecting from you. Whether you have that kind of ability to understand the life as it is, without any prejudices, without any biases. If you can do those things, that is what is required from this examination point of view. And then you have general essay is also there. For example, you are posted as an IPS officer, foreign service. You have to keep on sending reports to the government of India. For that, you must have writing abilities. The question they will be asking you is whether you have those writing abilities or not. That is what they will be testing you as part of your this essay paper, general essay. And then you have in your general studies paper 1, you have history, you have geography, you have social issues. They keep on asking the questions like, what are the reasons for increasing communalism in our society? Communalism, religious prejudices and religious biases. They will ask the question, what are the reasons for increasing caste conflicts in our society? They will ask you the question, why regionalism is a major problem? 2 years back, one question was asked in our paper. The question is related to our state only. Andhra Pradesh was the first state to be created on linguistic lines. Andhra Pradesh, as all of you know, our state was the first state to be created on the basis of language. And our state was also the first state to be divided again on the basis of language. So the question that UPSC asked is, we have experimented with this in linguistic reorganization of states. Has it failed or not? Because Andhra Pradesh, the language, all of us speak the same language. But still, that has not helped us to stay together. The question UPSC asked, they have asked, this experiment with linguistic reorganization of states, is it a failure? And that is what UPSC examination is all about. They would like to see whether you have the ability to understand, analyze, and come out with the solutions to the problems. Because there are for Hindi speaking states, there are so many states, Hindi language. Andhra Pradesh was the first state, and there were already movements in Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Bengal for reorganization of states. So the question they have asked is whether this linguistic reorganization of states, is it a failure or not? This is what the UPSC will be asking you. Similarly, they will ask you, what are the reasons for corruption, increasing corruption in our society? And they will ask you, if tomorrow if you become a civil servant, as part of ethics case studies, tomorrow if you become a civil servant, and the minister is asking you to do something illegal, unconstitutional, what will be your response? You cannot tell the minister that I will not do it. He will immediately sack you, or he will transfer you, he will suspend you. You require diplomacy there. And they would like to see whether you have those kind of diplomatic skills or not. And this is what UPSC will be expecting from you. Once you start preparing for this examination. So what is required for this? How do you develop this kind of analytical knowledge? I always keep on saying one thing to my students all the time. That is, your preparation for this examination starts and ends with reading newspapers. Some time back, the UPSC chairman was asked, what should the students do for this examination? And he said that let them read newspapers. And they asked him, how many? Let them read 10 newspapers. Normally for this examination, you read only Hindu newspaper or sometimes Indian Express. He said that let them read 10 newspapers. Because almost every question they will be asking, except history part, everything will be from newspapers, sir, including geography, social issues, science and technology, economy, and polity, even ethics. It starts and ends with the newspaper reading. If you are thorough with your newspaper reading, it becomes almost certain that you will be there in services. But the only thing that is required on your part is consistency. Every day you must be spending at least 2 to 3 hours reading newspapers. One is the Hindu newspaper, which is considered Bible for civil service examination, and the other one is Indian Express newspaper. You must be reading these 2 newspapers daily, because almost all the questions for your prelims examination will be mostly from these newspapers. And coming back, this is what about the mains examination. And The problem is that most of the students who prepare for this examination are from science background. And what is required is good writing skills. Because at the end of the day, if you are topping the prelims examination, UPSC will not give you any gold medal. What is required is you have to clear the main examination and you have to get top marks in the mains examination also. For that you must have excellent writing skills. And as I said, most of the students who prepare for this examination are from science background. Obviously they don't have any good writing skills. Maybe the longest sentence they must have written in their life is their name itself. Beyond that, they must not have written anything else. Science students. So, what can be done to improve writing skills? What you must do is that whenever you read newspapers every day in the morning, in the evening you have to write the synopsis of whatever you have studied on your own in the evening. That is how you develop writing skills. That is how you develop answer writing skills also. You can take, I have the answer sheets of Dilip as well as Poonam also. They have written so many answers. For the first time when Poonam came to me long time back and asked her to write answers. And when I saw her answers, I said that you'll definitely get 350, 360 marks. That was the time when we had option for 300 marks. And she scored the same kind of marks. Because it is all about writing skills. Last year also Dilip, he got very good marks. This year also in the mains also he got very good marks. You have to develop the writing skills. And that is what is required. And you cannot develop them overnight. It has to be very long run preparation. You have to do it for 18 months. Every day you have to write. You have to write from newspapers. You have to write, you have to practice writing answers. You have to write essays. So that it becomes easier for you to clear this examination. And after the mains examination, you have the personality test interview. It will be for around 20-25 minutes. It is mostly what you call uncertain. So what you have to do is that you have to make sure that you are getting maximum marks in the main examination so that your rank and service is assured. This year one of our students, 35th ranker, she is the second topper in mains examination. In the oral mains examination, she was the second topper. And she got very less marks in interview. That is the reason why she got the 35th rank. So what you have to do is that you have to make sure that you are getting maximum marks in the main examination. For that you have to practice. As I said, some time back, not many students are coming from our states. So that is the reason why I thought that why shouldn't I come to Hyderabad and provide assistance to our students. I was thinking about this for a long period of time. Last year, I started in Vijayawada, in our coaching institute. And this year from there, we'll be definitely getting at least, those will be writing prelims this year. From that batch, we'll be getting at least 2-3 ranks, definitely. Because, it is, in spite of all the uncertainties related to this examination, if you prepare in a systematic manner, your success is always guaranteed. If you prepare in a systematic manner. So I thought that let me come and help the students of Hyderabad also. Because a large chunk of students who come to Delhi from Hyderabad, they don't get proper guidance. They stay there for 4 years, 5 years, and they come back empty-handed. Because absence of what we call proper qualitative coaching. And that is the reason why I have decided that let us start my institute here in Hyderabad also. And fortunately, I got the able assistance of Challenges IAS Academy, and then Riyaz sir is there, and rest of all the members, they have been extremely cooperative. And hopefully, we will be starting our classes here in Hyderabad from 20th of this month. 20th of May 20 is the date where we will be starting our classes. I will be coming and I will be starting the classes, and then I will be starting the classes. And what I have decided is that only those who have got into services and only those who are extremely capable, they will only come and take classes for you people. For example, I have requested Poonam also to come and take classes. She is extremely busy, but I can blackmail her easily. to come and take classes. And she has no option but to come and take classes for us. So she will come and take classes. And then I have requested Dilip also, because he'll be going for training in August. Right now, August only, yeah. I have requested him also to come and motivate you to take some classes. And I will be taking classes. Along with that, we have 3-4 rankers. They are the only ones who will be coming and taking classes for you. Why? Because they have seen everything. And so they are the ones who have seen this examination. They are the ones who were swimming in these troubled waters, and they are the ones who could come out successful. So their stories will motivate you, inspire you. Their guidance will be invaluable for you. And that is the reason why I have decided that only these people will, only those who are qualified would be coming and taking classes for you. And then one more thing is that we will also be conducting some practice examination for this year prelims also. Those who will be writing prelims this year, we will be conducting them. We will also give you the schedule, as well as we will also give you the other details. We will be putting that in a newspaper advertisement. You will come to know about all those things also. So this is what we will be planning. This is how we are going to plan the things. Now I don't want to eat your brains much more. I know all of you are getting highly impatient. I will request Poonam to come and speak a few words about her preparation and everything else.
So much for saying so many good things about me. Even I have not heard so many things so good about me for a long time. And I would like to first thank you to Pavan sir for inviting me here and giving me this opportunity to be in front of you and talk about some of my experiences with civil services. Well, let me first start by just saying good morning to all of you, since you have been waiting here for long. And also I would like to congratulate Dilip on his success. Incidentally, this year I took a mock interview of Dilip too at Vajiram and Ravi, and I have taken his mock interview there. So I could somehow remember that I've seen this face, and then when we were interacting, I came to know that he has been successful, and it's really a pleasure to know that. Now I could I could feel as a teacher how Pavan sir would be feeling, because the same feeling I was getting when I have just taken only one mock interview of Dilip, and I was feeling like I also owe something of his success. So I feel that now I could relate to that how Pavan sir would be feeling with so many students of his being into civil services, and I feel that's really wonderful. Anyways, now coming to the topic, like how to prepare for civil services. I would say that more than anything, I think a lot has been told to you by Pavan sir, but more than anything, I would say that keep two things with you. That's what I always say, that one is self-belief and second is attitude. These two things will definitely sail you through. Trust me over it. So everybody would be feeling this is more like a motivational thing, self-belief, attitude. How are you going to define these things? How are these things going to make a difference? Well, I'll tell you from my own example. And I started very late for civil services. I was just like, somebody who's sitting around, and maybe you people would be somewhat aware about civil services examination. But when I started for civil services examination at the age of 28, I was least aware about what exactly is this exam about. Now, I was only having one confidence, that I've cleared some other exams, reputed ones, and let me give it a shot. And I belong to general category, so anyhow my attempts were getting, I've already lost one attempt by that time, because till that time, at the age of 30, we used to get 4 attempts. So anyhow my one attempt was lost. So I thought, let me give it a try. And secondly, now I'm talking about attitude here. In my first attempt, which most of you would also be having, people give this attempt with a thing that, let's try pre ho jayega, that we'll clear pre, then we'll think about mains. I was also having the same psychology. Let pre happen, we'll think about mains. Now, I would definitely say very wrong strategy, because we are not able to understand that pre is just a qualifying exam. It is actually the mains. Though in my first attempt I cleared, in the first attempt itself I got railways. I didn't join it because I was already in state services. But it actually costed me my first attempt, I would say, because I started mains preparation after my prelims preparation. So the tip for you, all of you who are sitting out here, is that try to have that attitude that this is my first attempt, I'm going to give it my best shot, and I'm going to clear it in my first attempt only. No pre, no mains, I'm going to clear the full exam in my first attempt. Right? So this is all about attitude and self-belief. Now coming to second thing, that also factor in another thing which I think many people won't be telling you, or they will be shy of telling you, but I'll be very blunt here. There's a lot of subjectivity involved in this exam. I think Dilip would also be agreeing to it. That give your best, like put in as much hard work as possible, but also factor in there's some amount of luck working somewhere, right? By luck, if you check out my last attempt, I got 308 rank last time, and I was 9 months pregnant when I wrote my prelims. I was total into hardcore policing. I was ACP Gurgaon that time, and for the 5.5 years, I have not touched the books. So I was total clueless. I guess my current affairs status was so bad that while I was reading for international relations after prelims, so that time I came to know that Bhutan has actually converted into a democracy. Because last time I read it was a monarchy. So that was so pathetic state of affairs. But there's one thing which was very clear in my mind was that the attitude was very strong. And I guess that was more than important. Because when I wrote my prelims, I could study only for 1.5 months just before prelims. Total, you can check out a person's status after 5.5 years taking the book, just reading them. But I was just giving it from a very, positive point of view that there's nothing to lose. So I would always say this thing to everybody. Last year I took all